83 is a 2021 Indian sports drama film. This film is based on real events. On 25th June 1983, India came back onto the world cricket stage when they beat the West Indian team, which was the world champions at the time. This game caused a massive upset. Well, did you know that 3 of our very own nationals star in this film? Coming from humble beginnings in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, Orson Nurse played a lead role in this Bollywood feature film. Orson played Captain Clive Lloyd of the West Indies team in the 1983 Cricket World Cup in this Bollywood feature film. We have the privilege of welcoming Orson Nurse to the set of Good Morning SKN for a virtual interview. Hi, Orson. Good morning. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you?
We're great. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Not too bad. Not as cold as I would expect. So yeah, I'm good.
All right. So first question is, well, congratulations on this film. First of all, this is incredible. How did you receive the opportunity to be featured in this film?
Well, I got a call from one of my friends who told me about the project. Who basically said to me that they were doing auditions, and he would encourage me to go on audition. Obviously, I've done 1 or 2 kind of short films before, but I know how the bigger projects work. They always kind of go through like an agent where you would have to go and, get screened and get selected to even get the opportunity to be in a feature film. Whereas this was much different. They wanted to open it up to the general public to try and get, the best suit possible and the best actors possible. Another thing that they were looking at is to try and get as much genuine cricketers as possible. So I went to Nottingham, which is where I had my audition, and I auditioned there. So that's exactly where the ball started, really.
Okay, so this is your first feature film. What was your emotional reaction when you found out that you got the part?
It was emotional, but I think I got more emotional when I actually went on set for the first day. Because I remember ringing my mom, when I got the call and saying, "Mom, look, I got, this part and stuff like that." And, my mom is a drama queen, those of you that know my mom. So she was all jumping up and down and making a whole heap of noise. And I was like, "Mom, calm down. I need to actually get on set to make sure that this is real first." So the first day when I got on set and we started shooting, I think that's when the emotions actually hit me. And I was like, yeah, this is real. This is big. And then is when I actually realized that, this could change a lot from my acting career. And,
definitely.
Yeah, so it was an amazing feeling.
Right, can you give us some insight into your character? Because you played Clive Lloyd in the film. So what can you tell us about his character without giving too much away? And what can you tell us about your preparation for becoming Clive?
The preparation was very, I want to say, strenuous. Because if you're playing such a major character, I mean, Clive Lloyd is the leader, he's the captain. He isn't as vocal, but he has the mannerisms about him where okay, he's in charge. This is the guy, that runs everything. Whereas on the other hand, you've got Viv Richards, who's more exuberant, more boisterous, So in terms of Clive Lloyd, I had to make sure that I understand his mannerisms. And one of the most important things to make sure that I walk like him, I look like him, and make sure that portrayed over screen. So I had to kind of basically try and get into his soul, per se. I had the opportunity of meeting him. He came on set one day. So we were able to kind of sit down, have a conversation. He was, showing me 1 or 2 things, telling me 1 or 2 things. And I just kind of try and absorb all that information and try and portray it on screen.
I'm sure you did a great job. But can you tell us what was the most difficult part? Like you said, you had to take on his persona. What part of that particularly was most challenging?
To try and speak like a Guyanese. Because, I mean, you know, like the Kittitian tongue is a very unique tongue,
It
you
is.
know? But as actors, you try your best to try and, you know, learn all the other different dialects and, you know, learn the American twang and all the other twangs that you need to learn if you're involved in acting. So that was a touch challenging, I can't lie, because of the time frame as well that we had. So I got the role, for argument's sake, in January. We were shooting in February.
Whoa.
So yeah, so literally there was no time to kind of like sit down and master it in terms of the language. But what I had to make sure that I master was the way how he played. You know, in terms of how he looked, that's what the makeup artist was there for. That what the stylist was there for. So for me now, it was about making sure that every cut shot he played, I looked like him. Every cover drive he played in that World Cup, I looked like him. The way how he walked, I looked like him. So that was more my focus.
Orson, do you have a favorite line or scene or even memory from the film?
A favorite memory. So one of the things that kind of hit me, I remember we was shooting the prize giving scene, and they brought out the actual cup that was there in '83, that was given to Capel Dev in '83. And Ranveer, who's playing Capel Dev as the captain, he came like to the front when they put the cup on this table, and he literally just put his hands on the cup. And you could see all the other Indian actors, they're there, and they're all just looking, and nobody's saying anything for about a good 10 to 15 seconds. And then they all just started crying, like literally crying. That, for me, I was standing there looking at that, and it just made me so emotional. It just made me think like, this is just more than a film to these guys. They're living through an experience that, you know, some of them were babies, you know, some of them were actually kids. It made me feel so emotional that why we're putting so much into this film, you know, why everybody's trying to put their best foot forward to make sure that this film portrays something great.
So I think we actually have a clip. We were talking a bit off scene, and we're asking if we could get a little bit of your new Guyanese accent, but we'll see if we could see it in the clip. I won't put you on the spot. I won't put you on the spot. So we'll take a second and we'll look.
Don't put me on the spot, please. Don't do that.
We'll take a short look at the clip that we have.
Where is our team bus? No bus here for Indian team.
आराम से मारना चिक्का माय नेट प्रैक्टिस है हमको चुमा टुकु टुकु.
Right, so that was the trailer, Orson. We didn't hear you speaking at all. So I don't know if Mimi's going to put you on the spot again. I don't know.
No. The trailer is just the trailer. I guess you'll have to wait for Netflix.
I feel cheated.
Okay, sorry. You could have asked me, I would have told you.
Interesting stuff, Orson. So let's talk a little bit about the reaction from the locals. What was that like for you?
That was crazy. I had two experiences. Obviously, I went to India for the premiere, so the experience there was just, we use the word mind-blowing, because you realize how much this film means, not only to the actors themselves, but to the locals, to the celebrity community in India. So it was just an experience that I can't even explain in full, because there is a bit of proudness in there, because I'm walking around feeling proud to be Kittitian.
All right, I want to shift gears a little bit to a post that you made on your social media page, and it was written, quote, "Sitting in the dressing room, thinking to yourself, Orson, is this really happening to you? Did you often have moments like this, Orson?"
Yeah, I do. And that was one of them. Like that moment, like the place was just quiet, and I tried to absorb, everything that was happening around me. I remember while I was in India as well, I was just sitting in the hotel room, just relaxing. And I had that same vision of like, is this really happening? I tend to do that to kind of trust. One, it keeps me humble. And two, it just makes me realize not only how lucky I am, but it also reminds me of how hard I've worked to get where I've got. Because there's people out there training for years. Like they've been to drama school, they've been to acting school, and they cannot get the opportunity that, I got. They can't get, lead roles, or they can't even get feature films. So for me, I just kind of go into those moments where I'm grateful.
Wonderful. So we're going to find out just a little bit more about you. I've heard about some interest in cricket, like you actually do like cricket. You're not just pretending to like cricket. But I also heard at a point in time you were interested in modeling. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, in terms of the cricket, I started playing cricket by the age of like 12. So I played for Leeward Islands. I played for St. Kitts. So my whole life, from the age of 14 to, I want to say 30, 35, I've been playing professional cricket. I played professional cricket in England. So I played Premier League in England. So yeah, that was my life. My life. I came to the UK to play cricket. That's why I was here.
That's
and then
crazy.
One day I was just walking in the street, and this modeling agent stopped me and asked me like, yeah, literally like, do you model? And I was like, no, I don't model. He was like your skin's amazing, and like you got good height. And I was like, okay. And she gave me like her details, and she was like, make sure you ring us, like, and come and see us. And I didn't bother with it. I just left it. And then 2 days after, like, I saw my phone ringing, and I was like, hello, who's this? And it was her. She was like, you haven't called me. And I was like, oh, because I was still playing cricket at the time. So that wasn't even my focus. And I went and had the test shoot and got signed, and the rest was history, really.
Wow.
So for me, the cricket and then into the modeling is what led over into the acting.